Going to decide to hike our fuel taxes to pay for roads. We're going to have to figure something out.
New at 6, Fox 17 News is uncovering a contradiction in numbers between the state of Michigan and the White House in regards to just how many jobs and road projects would be impacted if the Federal Highway Trust Fund were to run out of money.
And this comes as the U.S. Senate gets ready to vote on a bill passed by the House that provides $11 billion to fund a temporary fix.
Fox 17 political reporter Paul Cicchini spent the day investigating these fuzzy figures.
Orange barrels dot the roads across Michigan in the spring and summer months. But to keep projects like this moving, it takes billions of dollars in funding, some of it from the state and some of it from the federal government. Transportation officials in Michigan are now concerned that money could soon dry up. That's because lawmakers in the nation's capital can't reach agreement on a long-term plan to keep the Federal Highway Trust Fund solvent, a problem that will eventually impact Michigan.
Right now in 2014, we're good. We've planned our cash in such a way that we can pay our contractors.
The White House says nearly 18,000 jobs could be impacted in Michigan, but the numbers are not exactly adding up for the Michigan Department of Transportation.
Over time, you're talking thousands of people. I mean, you're not talking about government employees, you're talking about private industry. If you spin that off, I'm not sure how the White House extrapolated those numbers.
MDOT says the exact number is closer to 11,000 next year. According to MDOT's 5-year plan, the state will invest $1 billion to support more than 12,500 jobs in 2015. If the federal money were to dry up, the state would reduce the program to $183 million in investment, supporting about 1,600 jobs.
Our transportation system, over $3 billion a year for everything we do, and this includes, freight and rail and transit and roads and bridges.
When it comes to the funding structure in Michigan to repair roads and bridges, there are 3 main elements. The first is the Federal Highway Trust Fund. Second are vehicle registration fees. And the third comes from the state's fuel tax. State numbers only add up to $2.8 billion, short of what Michigan needs to operate at the current level.
If you factor all of that in, the industry will tell you it's more like $1.5 to $2 billion that we need as a state in additional investment just to maintain what we have. And, we have to decide what kind of state we want to be.
MDOT spokesman Jeff Cranston says if the money doesn't come in, road work in 2015 will have a much different look.
You'll see maintenance, and that's about it. You won't see major rebuilds of roadways. You'll see your roads continue to crumble in a few years. If we don't solve it as a state, let alone what goes on at the federal level, we're going to be at 50%, good or fair pavement.
While the future of the Federal Highway Trust Fund remains in jeopardy, Michigan transportation officials are optimistic that lawmakers in Lansing will take a vote later this year to increase the funding to fix the state's crumbling roads and bridges, while also keeping an eye on the nation's capital to make sure that $1 billion will be guaranteed into the future. Reporting in Kent County, Paul Cicchini, Fox 17 News.